The opening phase of the 2026 Formula One season has quickly established a competitive hierarchy, with certain teams setting the benchmark across both qualifying and race conditions. Early results have naturally led to questions about whether the current performance gaps are driven by fundamental advantages or by more refined execution within the same regulatory framework. As the paddock continues to evaluate the new generation of cars, there is growing interest in understanding where the differences truly lie. While some observers have suggested that one team may have found a decisive breakthrough, others within the field are pointing toward more incremental factors. The perspective was outlined by Oscar Piastri, who offered a measured assessment of Mercedes' strong start to the season. The Brackley-based team has dominated the opening rounds, securing pole positions and victories with George Russell in Australia and Andrea Kimi Antonelli in China, along with a sprint win in Shanghai. Despite these results, Piastri rejected the idea that Mercedes has discovered something fundamentally out of reach for its rivals. Speaking about the competitive gap, he emphasized that the explanation is more straightforward. There's nothing magical, he said, pointing instead to execution and optimization as the key factors behind their advantage. According to the McLaren driver, Mercedes appears to have a slight edge in overall downforce and is currently extracting more from its power unit. In his view, these combined elements are enough to explain the performance difference without suggesting any hidden or extraordinary solution. Piastri also reflected on his own team's situation, noting that McLaren does not have a single area of clear weakness or strength. Instead, he described the car as lacking in overall optimization, with downforce identified as the main area for improvement. He indicated that gains are likely to come from incremental progress rather than a single major upgrade. He further highlighted the competitive dynamics involving Ferrari, which he described as particularly strong in cornering performance. Piastri pointed out that Ferrari has been able to challenge Mercedes in specific situations, especially at race starts, suggesting that different strengths can still produce competitive battles despite a qualifying deficit. At the same time, he acknowledged that Mercedes holds a clear advantage over the field in qualifying pace. This has allowed the team to control race scenarios more effectively, reinforcing its position at the front of the grid in the early part of the season. Piastri's comments underline a broader theme within the paddock, that the current gaps may be less about revolutionary concepts and more about how effectively teams are combining existing elements. As development continues, these margins could shift as rivals close in through refinement. What's your take on this situation? Share your opinion below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Formula One updates.